Hello and welcome everyone to Blood on the Bayou circuit number 2 here. We're in round 3. We have Ravi on Aurora versus Buddy on Fang. And we are going to get into this one here shortly. Oh my god. How are we doing today?
We're doing all right. Looks like a kind of a might be a quick matchup here. Ravi Aurora versus Buddy on Fang. Um, these two, Ravi we've seen before on his Aurora against Victor, or yes, against Charles on Victor. Buddy I have not seen yet at this event so far. Um, what do you think of this Fang deck and how it stacks up against Aurora?
Yeah, so we've seen this Fang. We saw Buddy in the first Blood on the Bayou series, in the first circuit that we did. This deck, once it gets online, really feels a little bit like Aurora. It's just 0 for 4 that can come at you twice, or he can just pump one to the moon. It's really difficult once it gets online to do any sort of meaningful blocking because the Fang player can just say, all right, here's my first link, here's the sword, and you're like, all right, well, I want to try and block this, and then they say, okay, I'm not going to react here, and go to the next link, and then react on top of that, and now you have 8 that's coming at you instead of 4 and 4. So it can be very challenging to block, and I think that if the Aurora stumbles early on and gives Fang the room to be able to get a little bit of blocking in and be able to get the fealties up to 3, that we can definitely see Fang pull this one out. But again, if Fang does do a little bit of stumbling, Aurora is just going to do Aurora things, just kind of run him over.
Yeah,
So
we
we'll
know
see.
exactly what. Yeah, we know exactly what Aurora can do in this situation. Just kind of run wild, 0 for 4, over and over again. It's one of the reasons, one of the many reasons why she was able to get LL is Living Legend so quick, is just this consistent 0 for 4 damage.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see how this one goes, and see how Fang can stack up against the best deck in the format at this time.
So,
So
Buddy on Fang obviously has one really crucial piece of equipment here that can really help him stifle a little bit of Robbie's aggression. And I'm talking about the Valiant Dynamos. Uh, Josh, what do you think about Valiant Dynamos in this matchup?
So the Valiant Dynamos are definitely saying, "Hey, you're going to keep presenting breakpoints, and I'm going to pretty easily be able to just put a block 3 in the Dynamos in front of at least one of those every time." Fang is definitely going to be able to swing the swords twice, or has to swing the swords twice each turn. Let's put it that way, in order to keep those fealty for sure. But the Dynamos definitely are going to get a lot of value going in here. Um, I
What do
definitely,
you?
I'm really interested to see if Buddy does pull out the Null Rune here.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly what I
think
was going to
he,
ask.
yeah, I don't think he pitches too terribly well. Generally, these Fang lists are not on a lot of blues, so
Yeah,
being
look,
and just just having to, and they're wanting to use those mainly in the beginning of the game to try and just to fund the swinging of the swords until they get online. So
I can
we'll
imagine an ice hero would have run rampant on these Fang lists. The frostbite's really putting a damper on their aggression. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Josh. Um, Buddy, I believe, is only running 8 blues in his entire deck, or in his entire sideboard, including his sideboard. So I kind of doubt he'll be pitching to uh, Null Rune. Maybe just wanting to have the Battle Worn 2 of the Brave Forge Bracers instead.
Brave Force Bracers definitely. I think that if the Aurora does come into like the Flicker Wisp combo, that you're just kind of saying, well, that's just kind of what it is, and I'm just gonna have to clap back harder as Fang. Um, it definitely feels like the onus is on Fang here to make this matchup go the way that Fang wants it to go, because Aurora is just so consistent.
Zero
Um,
for 4 over and over again.
yes. So We shall see. I'm interested here to see what headpiece Buddy brings in. He does have access to the Kabuto. He has access to the Crown of Providence. Crown of Providence, obviously, fixing some hands that can be awkward. Um, but we'll see what Buddy does line up here. It looks like we're getting close to getting started. Ravi here is from out of town. He is from Austin. Um, I actually, funny story. I played Ravi at one of my first rated events, and I knew who he was because he was putting out like Bravo content on YouTube at the time, which is
Really cool.
really funny story. And Buddy here is a Houston native, has moved a little bit further north, but still coming to our Houston events. So we see Buddy is loading out here with the Crown of Providence and
The
putting in
null
the
rune.
null rune.
Yeah, you think he brought in all his blues in the sideboard just for this matchup?
I don't know that you're cutting many blues as Fang, to be
Yeah,
honest, because
very
I
true.
think you're just you need them in the early game, and then afterwards, I mean, you have access to provoke, you have access to glint, and relentless pursuit. So,
So,
Buddy gonna start us
buddy,
off here and swing the sword, coming in, and it's never just one. Let's be honest. Is Robbie gonna try and put down and block for four?
it looks like five with gone in a flash.
Oh, it's gone in flash. There it is, and he's gonna bounce it back to his hand. I this card, electromagnetic somersault. What a card!
Really, one of the main tools that we've seen from one of the ways uh, that Aurora can really push some damage and block. One thing that's always been a complaint about Rune Blades is not only are they great aggressive decks, but they're also really good blocking decks. Now, Ravi not bringing things in like the Dyadic Carapace, but Somersault definitely one of those tools to bring offense and defense.
Just showing some interesting use of kind of the game mechanics here. Waiting till the combat chain is closed, so Buddy doesn't have go again, but Ravi have playing an electric or a lightning card, able to pitch the uh, for for the embodiment of lightning and not be punished because Buddy doesn't have an action point. So very very cool there. Burn up shock gonna start off the turn here. We'll see what Buddy's gonna do. I think he just takes it. Definitely not pitching now. It's gonna
But
be
now
a
has to
little
worry
bit.
about the burn up effect as he thinks about his blocks for the rest of this turn. Ravi off to a great start, starting with an embodiment of lightning and a full four cards.
Able to use that embodiment here, and with the fuse, so the arcane is going to come in first, and then another four behind it on the arcane. On this, is it arcanic crackle,
Shockwave.
shockwave. There you go. And just like we talked about, Valiant Dynamos coming in to help with this breakpoint pretty easily to cover it up with just one card and the legs.
Is that Arc Lightning
Ravi going to follow it up with is it
or a Skyward Serenade?
the Skyward Serenade, which we know now was a misprinted card, but it is definitely super good here. Getting the Skizix out of the deck and making the embodiment the two modes that you normally see coming out of this deck here.
Ravi one card left in hand. Um, aside outside of the Skizix that is kind of being created.
So we're gonna come in another 0 for 4. I'm
Still
thinking
threatening this
Buddy
burn up. Still threatening this burn up.
Buddy going to donate the equipment to it, trying really hard to not take a hit this turn. Robbie thinking if he wants to try and push this and get more cards out of Buddy's hand,
And he
and he
does.
does.
But he gives up everything.
Giving up the oath of loyalty and the crown of providence, sinking the card and getting a new one off the top. Doesn't did he block is that first card a blue? I can't really tell.
Uh, I can't really tell either.
I think
Um,
that he mostly had a red hand, so he wasn't going to be able to swing the swords too terribly effectively. So he there pledge fealty, able to go ahead and get the mark out, or go ahead and get his fealty token out. I'm sorry, that's the wrong card. Yeah, go ahead and pledge fealty and get his first fealty token out. So that card, really good rip off the top there from the crown.
yeah, really impressive. Um, doesn't able is not able to reset his Valiant Dynamos though, which could be a challenge if he wants to block. Obviously, Ravi not presenting a lot of on hits except for that burn up, so may not
Ravi
need
did,
exactly the Valiant Dynamos to block an on hit, but still useful block value.
and Ravi choosing to not arsenal last turn. So this turn not quite as threatening. Ravenous Rabble did flip to show a scar for scar, which is not online. And I don't think it's going to be rough to get it online here. But coming in for another 0 for 4, Buddy saying, send me the bill. So Robbie trying to figure out what he's going to line up with next year. And it looks like it's going to be an enlightened strike. I would assume he's going to pump with one card left in hand. Wouldn't want to draw. Oh,
It
it
looks like
looks
go
like it was
again.
go again.
Yeah,
So Ravi not not really trying to keep an arsenal here. Hasn't played a lightning card, so the Starfall is not online.
really
Maybe
good point,
could
Josh.
maybe could pitch to grasp. I didn't catch what the card was that is in his hand.
Is I think is really kind of incentivized, yeah, to just use this scar for a scar, even though just
Yeah,
for four
just send
damage,
another
right?
4. Yeah, just send another 4. He doesn't have any cards left anyway. The go again doesn't have to be there. He knows he's about to pick up another scar. Um, so even if Buddy is able to push a lot of damage here, I don't know if he's going to push him all the way down to 29 or
And Ravi
up to
knows Buddy
28.
is willing to take this damage. He's already taken 9 damage so far off this turn. Um, but he looks to want to keep this entire hand.
He definitely has to keep enough to play one Draconic to keep the fealty around, and has to be able to pitch for the sword. Hasn't had the chance to make a vigor token this turn either. That's one of the really nice things about the grains here on Fang is they're able to start rolling these vigor tokens, especially early on in the game, uh, to not have to have the blue, you know. But I think I'm giving this a good thing.
Oath of
Going to block
Loyalty.
with the Oath of Loyalty, yeah.
That's 2 Oath of Loyalties out from Buddy's side.
So we'll see what Buddy wants to crack back with here. We have 28 playing 40 here. Buddy's turn. Are we on turn 2? Here comes Buddy coming in with the sword saying, it's okay, it's just one.
Ravi taking a look at the Fang cards, maybe hasn't played against a bunch of Fangs in person. But yeah, this Obsidian Fire Vein coming in for 1, 3 cards available.
You know, Robbie, I don't blame you. I'm in the same spot as you are right now. So he does have a scar tissue, Buddy having a scar tissue in Arsenal, but I'm almost certain that scar tissue needs a mark in order to be pretty effective. Yeah, so don't have the mark right now. So scar tissue just going to be a +3 pump and not draconic. Buddy needing the draconic in order to pump the dagger and give it a go again, or pump the sword and give it a go again. And it's actually dagger. I keep saying sword. It's a dagger.
wasn't going to correct you there, Josh. I was gonna say, was thinking about saying something, but thought better of it. Buddy, really having a think here. There it is, scar tissue.
Gonna pull the scar tissue out, pump it to +3.
But
So
again,
now
you're absolutely right. No draconic yet.
this.
But he
So if
had,
I'm sitting in Ravi's seat, this screams like something has to be coming out. I'm really thinking that there is a pledge fealty that can play at instant speed, so that he has the draconic, so that he's not gonna lose it. But Buddy really thinking here,
yeah,
early in the tank.
about to play it. I mean, Ravi's already not, said no blocks. Is interested in taking this damage.
Hits him with the searing gaze. And searing gaze is draconic and is going to get the mark. Oh, I'm sorry, only on the second link is he going to get the mark.
But is already going to get the mark from the scar tissue. So just a way to give this dagger go again, but doesn't
And to
chooses
make sure,
opts not to use it.
yeah, just to keep just to make sure he doesn't lose the field, he gets the mark on. So Buddy progressing his game plan not as quickly as I think he wants to. I think that he did pitch a red there.
But he's
Didn't look
drawing
like he
something that
knew.
he would have liked to see earlier, maybe.
Another rabble coming in, showing. Was it a second strike, or was I
I
incorrect?
think that's a second strike. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, showing the second strike, so 0 for 4. Ravi not playing on Arsenal, really not playing on Arsenal at all this game. Just picking up 4 cards, throwing 4 cards. He's
Not a
got the
bad
Scar for
way to
Scar.
play Flesh and Blood. Uh, is to just hit him for 16 every turn. But
Yeah. But he does have a little bit of a clunky hand because he has the Scar for Scar. That's not on. That's not online, and an
and an
enlightened
E strike.
strike.
Yeah.
So at least he can bury it, draw a card, and get on Arsenal and a snatch. Just not a lot of go again here.
Not a lot of lightning cards drawn in these first three hands. Um, most
That's
of
true too.
his, yeah, it's just all draconic so far, or all generic so far.
But able to show the reds on the rabble though. Gonna throw the snatch, but he still
Snapdragon's
didn't.
very scary.
Yeah, Snapdragon's definitely here. Gotta respect it. But he gonna go ahead and put the grains out there.
There it is. Defense
This
reaction. That
is.
all you got.
Oh, is it that all you got? Oh, I thought
Yeah,
it was
that's a
one of.
that.
I thought it was one of the like affirm loyalties or
No, that's a that all you
the
got.
kneeling the kneeling warrior cards.
Yeah.
Uh, going to draw on the enlightened strike. So coming in for another 5. Buddy gonna go could no block and go sub 20. Does put up the searing gaze to preserve some life though.
Ravi on the first arsenal of this game so far. Of his first arsenal of this game. Buddy throwing away the grains. Not interested in keeping that, or not interested in pitching into for a vigor.
I think that if we're looking at equipment choices here, that oh, 2 pledge field.
Wow.
Oh, and just like that, 2 pledge fealties, 3 fealties, and now the free dagger. So yeah, getting rid of grains there, good decision because
Yeah.
it's not as needed anymore. You know, it's
Yeah.
just defense. And Ravi being marked, so taking a hit will bump him up to 4 fealties, so having an extra one to make sure that he can, if he just leaves like a scar tissue in hand, able to use that fealty to make sure he keeps the rest of his other stack of fealties. I can't tell what Buddy has. This another one of those draconic reactions that I am not very familiar with.
Yeah,
Does take the
the
hit, so it makes the
draconic cards generally a little hard to discern, mostly just red.
yeah. Um,
Regardless, Buddy choosing to swing with both of his swords there, able to get that go again, unfortunately misses his Valiant Dynamo trigger.
he does miss it, and this is a really crucial turn to have missed it.
Yeah, would have
Um,
loved to see it on his burn up shock turn.
yeah, being able to easily cover one of these. I'm wondering if we are going to see any pitch to the arcane barrier here at all this
It,
game. But
this would
second strike going to
maybe
be
be a
coming
good
in.
turn to do it, but it looks like he has already missed this arcanic damage.
And with the shot coming in, Buddy just taking it all.
Really scary. Ravi on a 5 card hand could absolutely threaten lethal here.
Another
Entwine Lightning.
0 for 4 Entwine Lightning coming in. Buddy really has faith in this hand, I think. He has to have a lot of faith in this hand. Here comes the Starfall for 2, saying yes, and a natural Skizix. Is that Skizix?
Regardless, probably a 0 for 4.
It is the Skizix. It is
Ravi.
actually not going to... It should have only been 3. Yeah, because it doesn't have go again.
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Here comes the infamous...
3 cards.
It's one dagger. It's only one, I promise. 4 playing 27. Buddy with a big hole to dig out of here.
Yeah, might be a little hard, especially with just a 3 card hand to go back with.
And here is that same card that we that we did not know earlier. That is another one of these warrior reactions. Touch. Nope, that is
That's
not
not
the
it.
correct one. Regardless, definitely going to see
Blaze Hedgehog after that.
Blaze Headlong coming in.
Ravi, I don't think he really cares to block any of this. I mean, he's still got full equipment, has the face purgatory, even if he wants to use it, but can absolutely threaten much more than Buddy's life total with a 5 card hand.
Yeah, definitely a tough spot here for Buddy. Ravi's still gonna give it a think. Still respecting that Fang can put out a crazy amount of damage in a very short amount of time, especially if gone left unchecked. As these swords are free right now.
Daggers.
Man, the daggers are free right now. Ravi saying, "Thank you. I will take all 7." One more dagger coming in.
Then he finally remembers the Dynamo trigger.
Does get the Dynamo trigger there. Still on Arsenal for Buddy. But a 5 card hand.
Arc Lightning. Buddy leaning back. He knows this is probably going to do it.
This is a rough spot to be in. Arc Lightning coming on a 5 card hand with your all red deck. Takes the 1. Getting the go again from Arc Lightning. So
Buddy scooping it up. All
Buddy
these
just
reds.
calling it there. Yeah. Robbie's saying, yeah, here's all the damage I got. Somersault, yeah, it's a lot. And Buddy's like, yep, that was a lot. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I think we saw there just, it's a little, if you don't get online, almost like turbo mode in Fang, that this is can be a very tough matchup. Like we talked about, is kind of Fang needing to be able to get kind of the onus on Fang to get going because Aurora was going to do Aurora things. So
That's really scary because I think if I recall correctly, Buddy was online in terms of the three fealties on turn three. And if turn three is too slow to get started against the best deck in the format, it is no wonder why Aurora has rocketed to Living Legend. I mean, that deck was so fast. Um, but he probably had like maybe a little more opportunity to block there that he may have wanted to take, but really, I think just goes to show how much damage Aurora can do or was able to do now that she's gone.
yep. All right.
Any
Well,
final
thank you
comments,
all.
Josh?
Well, thank you so much, Sean, for joining me here. Appreciate it, and thank you all for being here. And we'll see y'all in the next round.
See ya.